And now Jesus, by curing this person, breaks the barriers around him, liberates him from the chains of limitation. Today, if you listen to the voice of the Lord, harden not your hearts. May the peace and joy of Christ be with you today. Once again, St. Mark presents before us the healing of Jesus. We know the healing of Jesus is not just a physical healing, but integral healing. Now, Jesus walked through Decapolis, which is a Greek term for 10 cities, and then a mute and deaf person was brought to Jesus, and Jesus heals him. Jesus puts his finger into his ears and then spittle on his tongue. And then he groaned, he looked up to heaven and groaned and said to him, "O.S.T." And immediately his ears were opened and his speech impediment was removed. And he began to speak plainly. You know, there is an O.S.T. rite, O.S.T. prayer at the baptisms, where the priest would touch the ears and touch the lips and say the O.S.T. prayer. In the olden times, especially for those who would be baptized at the Easter Vigil, the priest would say this O.S.T. prayer by touching the ears with his finger, but also use the saliva at the lips of the candidate, trying to imitate the exact action of Jesus. The deaf and the mute at the time of Jesus were very much limited. They couldn't come out to the mainstreams of the society. Even they were limited at the religious activities and the temple activities. A natural barrier was raised around them. They were kind of shackled and chained, or it was a bondage for them. And now Jesus, by curing this person, breaks the barriers around him, liberates him from the chains of limitation. He's so liberated. He's enjoying the freedom, and he's starting to enjoy his life to the full. Now let's focus on the word O.S.T. O.S.T. means be opened. But the word O.S.T. is one of those words which were kept in its original Aramaic language, not translating it into Greek in which the New Testament was written. The reason is not to lose the original impact of these words. And in the miracle that we saw today in the Gospel, Jesus opened the ears and the mouth of that person who was deaf and mute. But Jesus did not come just to open the physical ears or mouth or eyes, but he came to open our interior mouth and ears and eyes. He came to open the heart of each person. In the Old Testament, when Moses went to Pharaoh requesting him to send the Israelites for worshiping God without fear, Pharaoh rejected, or Pharaoh did not heed to the plea of Moses because his heart was hardened. His heart was hardened that he was closed to the plea and request of Moses. Ultimately, he was closed to the message of God himself. And later we will hear this: today, if you listen to the voice of the Lord, harden not your hearts as your ancestors, your elders, your fathers did in the wilderness. It is important to check whether our heart is open or closed. Is our heart open to the voice of God? Is our heart open to the cry of the people around? Is my heart open to the changes that need to take place, either in the church or society or in politics? Sometimes our religious and ethnical fanaticism can harden our heart. It can close our heart towards others from understanding and accepting the goodness in the others. It can raise the barrier or wall around us. It can chain us. It can shackle us. It can limit us too much that we are not able to understand the others. We're not able to be open to the others. But Jesus can touch us and heal us and open our heart and attitudes as He did to that mute and deaf person. Because Jesus is a healer who liberates. We need to be healed and liberated. Pope Benedict XVI says, there is an inmost closure that affects the inner self of every person, which the Bible calls the heart. It is this that Jesus came to open and to liberate, so as to enable us to live fully our relationship with God and with others. May Christ the healer liberate us. Amen.